Hi everybody, how are you doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. Now, I don't want to start off with a long intro this time. I want to just say what I have to say real quick and jump into this. We are about a half a paragraph to starting part 6, which is the final part of the sections, I should say, that I am given from part 1 to 17. So we still got through to go through to part 17. But I think we've been doing it with good pace. So this shouldn't take much longer to finish this sequel. But we are learning a lot. And some horrific, some really horrific, and some just really bad stuff. But I'm glad to be spreading this information and letting people know what's going on, especially those of you that don't know anything about it at all. I will be happy to keep informing you. I do have the PG version of this. The actual documentary is more hardcore. Things that I cannot put on here because they were banned from putting it on here. So we're going to have to just keep discussing it and keeping it as PG as we can and learning what's going on in our world and what has been going on in our world for centuries. This is the truth. This is the real situation of what's been going on and what is going on in our world today. It is not hid by anybody anymore. We have our own news people, our own researchers, our own documentarists. We have our own team now digging under the fake news, the false information, and the hidden information to bring this to you, to get you to understand that we are in serious trouble and changes need to be made. So we need to make sure everybody that we can reach, we reach. Anybody we can get to listen, we get to listen, and keep spreading the information. If you think or know anybody who is interested in learning the truth, please send them to my channel. Please bring them, have them join. Let's get talking. Let's unite our groups and start in getting on the same page so that we can make the differences and the changes that need to be made. You can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. But as a united group, we can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. I'm just hoping I didn't... Oh, one more thing. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. If you are enjoying this and my videos and what you're learning, please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you know anybody else that is interested or might be interested, please send them to my channel. I want to reach as many people as I can. We have to. Time is limited. If you're enjoying what we're doing here, please thumbs up my videos. Please comment below if you have any ideas, thoughts, or want to go over something different for a minute and then jump back into this. Please let me know in the comments below or contact me. My email is on there and my Facebook is connected. You can become a friend of mine on Facebook so we can messenger each other. Please let me know in the comments below, though, because I did get friend requests, and it was more of somebody trying to hack, and then I got like 250 within minutes. So I had to then delete and block. So please leave me a comment below that you will email me, or leave me a comment below that you will Facebook me, so that I can be prepared and waiting for that information. Okay, so again, subscribe, bring people to our group, thumbs up, contact me, leave comments. Okay, well, now let's get started because I just want to get through this and push through it as fast as I can. So let's do this. Oh, and by the way, I am really enjoying this, and I'm thankful that I have you guys. Okay, I'm going to start off with the last little part of the paragraph from yesterday because it does lead into the next part. So we're going to a little review. Okay, Agenda 21. 2030. I keep wanting to say 2000. 2030. The Club of Rome, the UN, they all claim that we the people are to blame for the misery in the world, from poverty to inequality, from famine to exhaustion of the planet's resources. Sorry, hold on one second. I hate that. So sorry. Fine. Let's talk about the planet's resources, shall we? Have you ever heard of Henry Kissinger? You will. Let's continue to part 6. And this is the beginning of part 6. And yes, Henry Kissinger was a very bad man who led our presidents to very bad things and to do very bad things. And probably was the biggest cause of everything we are accused of. And the biggest cause of most of the evil that then started by his report and words. Very horrible. And the things that we're going to get into that this man started are absolutely horrifying. And I'm just going to get into it, but terrible. It's coming. And probably tomorrow, but it's absolutely disgusting. And maybe a little bit today, but the worst part, I believe, will probably be in tomorrow's. Okay. From medieval secret societies to modern times, the cabal worked for centuries on their vengeful plan to obtain world dominance. Every layer of society was infiltrated. The cabal's main engine, I could have put was, the UN, was pushed forward by hypnotic repetitions, sustainability, non-profit, and philanthropy were now used to hide crime, money laundering, fraud, and corruption. Henry Kissinger, world-famous U.S. Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under Nixon and Ford, by some hailed as a hero, by others maligned as a war criminal. Kissinger wrote a top-secret report in 1973 called National Security Study Memorandum 200, or the SSM 200, or the Kissinger Report. It talks about the planet's sources. All right, Henry Kissinger came up with a marvelous plan to consolidate the smooth flow of valuable resources from various countries around the world to the U.S. According to Kissinger, taking other countries' resources was easy as long as countries were stable. Unstable countries were difficult to access. So, the question he posed was, How do we stabilize less developed countries? Because for some reason, the planet's most valuable resources, such as oil, natural gas, gold, and minerals, minerals, were all in less developed countries. In his infamous report, he wrote, wherever a lessening of population pressures through, reduced birth rates can increase the prospect for such stability. Population policy became relevant to resources, supplies, and to the economic interests of the United States. Fancy words to say that in order to create stability, one needs population policy. What does that mean? Legalizing abortion? Giving families money if they use contraception? If they accept sterilization and or abortion, and if that isn't significant, population policies means forced abortions, forced sterilization, and forced birth control. This is how, and I'm reading like this small, so give me a second. I'll make sure I read it right. This is how one person in government just decided to make a BS call and report, and they work it into our lives as if it's real, or they have the right and the power to do any of these things. This is what I talk when I talk about the government and people in the government feeling like all of a sudden they've got this massive power and they can do whatever they feel like doing because now they have the power, the friends, the corruption. So if we can bully people, steal their rights, or push something disgustingly too far, they will. It's just absolutely absurd that somebody gets to decide, oh, because we want to rip off another country, we will start using really sick and twisted ways to make deals with them, I guess. And in this instance, it's to destroy people from the inside out, basically. You're sterilizing women, or you're stealing their children from their bellies. You're causing mental trauma. You are murdering babies. And this was your answer to your greed to get gold, minerals, gas, etc. It's so disturbing. It's not even funny. It's so twisted and evil and disturbing. And again, these are the people that people decided to vote in to run our countries and make decisions for us. And now, because they don't want to take responsibility for doing so, they want to bury their heads in the sand and allow it to continue until what? They murder us all? They take complete control? it just makes no sense. You see that this horrible stuff is going on. Your first thing that you should think and want to do is to end their careers and fix it and stop what has been put in place. And yet this has been allowed to be continued for centuries and then moved later into other countries. Do you want to be the one? Because now that it's coming to light more and more, you're eventually going to have to sit down and explain this to your babies, that you're allowing this to happen as they learn that it's going on, which is why they want the younger generations gone. Because the younger generations, because they have smarter parents, are now coming into this not brainwashed and fully knowledged. And they don't want anybody fighting back or talking back or questioning them. Since the older generation never did, how dare this younger generation come in and ask questions and want answers and expect to make changes now? Well, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen with or without everybody. But I'm praying that the people we reach will make the choice to stand and fight and make the changes with us, because good people should want to do that. And the ones that don't, I don't believe have the heart to care enough or be good people enough to fight with us anyways. But I'm praying the ones that hear and have a good heart and a righteous soul and full of faith will join us, because it's going to be, again, not just the fight of people. It's going to be a fight of faith and God's. This is an evil and good fight, believe it or not. And you're going to have to want good and fight for good, and not allow them to take your faith or your soul while doing so, or corrupt you, because that's the main thing. People without a soul or faith can be corrupted very easily, which is how a lot of these people got where they are today. They were offered big paychecks to be corrupt and allowed to get away with crimes, even as far as murder. All right. What was I? Okay. Furthermore, Kissinger advised withholding aid, disaster aid, food aid, I was supposed to be aid, disaster aid, and food aid, if a less developed country refuses to implement the U.S. population control program. That was the way to privilege a country out of its Let me reread that. I got so twisted around. If a less developed country refused to implement the U.S. population control programs, that was the way to pillage a country out of its resources. Create stability by reducing the population, and most importantly, by getting rid of the imperialistic youth. As I said, I thought that was going to come later, but it was right behind what I just said. Okay, the youngsters that tend to ask critical questions, they had to disappear. The result, a massacre worldwide, documented thoroughly in various excellent and courageous research papers, that for some reason we ignored by that for some reason were ignored by the mainstream media and by the UN itself. The people who are supposed to keep the peace and make sure the right things are done, but do nothing but make sure everything is corrupt and wrong and terrorizing and terrifying and horrific and disgusting, etc. We will give you 2 examples, 2 of many. China and Peru. We all know about China's one-child policy that started in 1979. In 2015, this policy was changed into a 2-child policy. If the first baby is a girl, how does that work in practice? With the financial help of the United Nations Populations Fund, formerly known as the United Fund for Population Activity, the UNFPA, China developed state-of-the-art tracking systems and computer surveillance programs to keep track of women's monthly cycles. Are you freaking kidding me? And if a woman is pregnant, the program will know immediately whether the unborn baby is a first or her second, and whether her first child was a girl. If the system shows the baby in her belly is not allowed by the government to be there, are you kidding me? She will be arrested and have a forced abortion. Why would anybody have that kind of power or control over another human being and in such personal levels and aspects? And you tell me slavery has been abolished? You're telling me there's no such thing as slavery today? Are you freaking kidding me? People, wake up. Wake up. And it is here too in America in different ways. It's everywhere. And it's going to get worse if you don't wake up. And this stuff really gets under my skin, really. And the fact that nobody has tried to do anything about this for centuries, it's beyond me. I just don't get it. They will be arrested and forced to have their babies ripped from them. And you talk about humanity? These people want to kill humanity for this reason, so that the people here that want to be here with these demons won't care about this stuff. And that's where evil wins. Okay. I don't know. Let me read my side note. Disgusting. That is kidnapping and murder. So I did read it in the right place. That is kidnapping and murder and must be stopped. Who are these people where they feel they can live free and live as they want, but then make decisions on other people's lives in any way? No one should ever have that kind of power. That needs to be stopped. I don't care if it's a government. I don't care if it's a president. I don't care if it's the queen or king of whatever. You don't have the right to make those kind of decisions over somebody's life. And if you think they're not going to start it here, honey, they already have. That's why they fight for it to be legal. That is China's policy, and approved of and stimulated by the UN. This is a woman's very sad story and private story she wanted told. So this next part is a woman's story that I believe she wanted told, or it wouldn't be out there. It's also part, I believe, of a hearing. As soon as I was taken out of the van, I saw hundreds of pregnant moms there. All of them just like pigs in a slaughterhouse. The room was full of moms who had just gone through a forced abortion. Some moms were crying, some moms were screaming, and one was rolling on the floor in unbearable pain. When it was my turn, it was the end of my world for me. This is hard. It was hard writing this and listening to it earlier. I think about my children, and I want revenge for these babies and these women. Okay, where was I? Rolling on the floor in unbearable pain. Then when it was my turn, it was the end of the world for me. When the surgery was finished, the nurse showed me part of my baby's bloody foot with her tweezers. What the frick? Are you serious? And for these types of people to be able to do these things to these women and children, and then you show the mother a part of her child's bloody little foot. What is going on in the world today? What is happening like that? People could know this stuff and be okay with it and allow it to continue. And you think after centuries of this crap, anybody that's in these systems are going to change it or save anyone? They've been running it like this for centuries, since the beginning of freaking time. The only people who can change it are the people who want change. Because it's just going down a deeper and darker hole right now. And the time for the end is coming. Understand, God won't put up with this for much longer. What a sick you know what. Because I have to watch my mouth on here. These are sick and twisted individuals. This was Miss Wood, and I hate to even pronounce her name, even though I do not know Chinese. But it's just, to me, I don't want to be disrespectful. Miss, and I had it sounded out earlier what I thought it was, and now I'm just so upset I couldn't even try. Wujin, Wujian, Wujian, Wujin. Anyways, at a congressional hearing in 2009, source Congress Christopher Smith, co-chairman of the Congressional Executive Commission on China. This right here tells you this will not be stopped and will continue to get worse, because the people that run our government are the reason for all of it, and all of what is happening, and all that is going on in the corrupt world they have made. With all of the horrible decisions they have made and plans they have come up with, etc., how can anyone believe that they will be the ones to stop this insanity or make any changes to better anything? This also shows you the lengths they have gone with, or it should have been probably two, gone with or to abuse of power, abuse of their power. Also, how can you not see slavery has never been abolished? Things can and will only get worse with these people placed in our government. All of these people need to be removed. I need light now. Better, yes. Okay. All these people need to be removed from their positions. They have already stopped your free speech, which you see. You got Facebook jail I'm hearing about left and right. You got other ones throwing you off for BS and made up stuff. Anything you say, they'll block you, they'll take you down, they'll delete your stuff, they'll time you out, they'll punish you. Your free speech is already gone. Okay? Wake up, because that's the beginning of the end right there, and that's been said for many centuries too. And I'm going to go into it deeper in a minute, but I'm going to read it from here because I know I wrote about the pretty much same thing. No matter how they twist it or who they put as the scapegoat, as we have seen for centuries, they are very good at that and admit to using them, which is the scapegoats. They are the real ones behind it all. Their trickery, we are not falling for it anymore. Everyone needs to wake up and see all of this before it is too late for you. We that are already awoke will continue to try to show you the truth and awake you and keep fighting for us and our rights and a better future until then. God bless us all. Every video I study for and the research and taking notes, etc., to put out for you is full of information, facts, truth, etc., to help you see the truth and what is really going on before it's too late to stop the evil that is coming to try to take over the world, to destroy any and all good in it and make it literally hell on earth. That is the truth. Now again, you see all these platforms and even just comments on Facebook and all the other platforms. You are now not just deleted. They don't just delete your stuff. They penalize you. They call it Facebook jail now, which I'm sure there's a Twitter jail and there's a YouTube jail and there's a this jail and there's a that jail. And if you get so many, they'll just delete you altogether. That is a violation of not only your free speech, but your rights. But see, since the government can't be the one doing it, they get with all the heads of these companies and put them in place, just like they say, put your people in place to do what you need done. That's been a cabal plan from the beginning. Go to the protocols, go through the history that I went through. They have their little puppets that they put in place to do what they need done when they know they can't. So you can't say they're violating your rights, and then if you try to go after them, they say, well, it's a private company, or it's this, or it's that, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a private company or anything else. Free speech is free speech. Nobody has the right to stop your free speech. But that's the corrupt law working behind them because they're doing it for them. Anything you do to fight back, you will be punished. Anything you speak about, you will be punished. Anything you do as far as standing up for yourself, you will be punished. This is way out of hand at this point. Don't know why nobody's done anything sooner, but people are ready now. And we will stand up for our rights. And we will do what we have to do to make sure nobody takes our rights away and nobody violates us anymore. It's enough. And we are going to take our rights back, and we are going to do whatever has to be done. And we are not going to go with the giving up our rights to satisfy them. We're not going to do it. Sorry. It's not going to happen. You can do whatever you need to do to keep pushing the people. And again, people are just going to keep pushing back. And whatever happens, happens at that point. But again, people, it's time to wake up and see that it's not going to stop. There are not going to be any changes. They are not going to fix anything. They are not going to give us anything. And anything they give a little bit on, they're going to take a whole lot back. Again, they give you a stimulus check because they know what they have caused. And then they hike up gas prices to an unbelievable, unreasonable amount. And everything else in the stores. And they give you some stupid BS story of why they had to do it. And they're always BS stories. Always. None of it's true. It's just an excuse, to do, let me take a breath, to do the things they do to us. It's all BS. That's the only way I can keep telling you. And I'm going to pound it in your head like they pounded the BS. I should almost said it. BS in your head and brainwashed you for years. And just like in what I just read you when I said they repetitively say stuff. It's part of the brainwashing. And if they surround it by pretty words and then the bad part is words that you don't understand, it all sounds great, but it's all BS. That's why you got to dig and do your research. So basically, to pillage greedily from other countries, they've decided to mutilate and terrorize people and kill babies. That was their answer. And babies that are alive. And I don't even want to go into the gruesome details, but I'm just going to say, inside and outside of mommy's belly, murdering babies. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable no matter where you are, what country, what nationality, what race, whatever. That is unacceptable. Whether you're poor, rich, poverty, whatever. And yet, they made this an answer to get money and greed and things that the other countries had. They couldn't make a real deal and give them the money that it's worth and help them thrive and grow. No. Why would they do that? Why would they help people? So the other way was threaten them to be worse off, terrorize them, murder their babies, and so on and so on. Are you freaking kidding me? Come on, people. And you really think nothing really needs to be changed. You think people are going to fix it that have been doing this since the beginning of time. They're all the same types of people. And they only bring in to work with them the same types of people. Where do you think this hero is going to come from? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me where this hero that's going to fix everything is going to come from? Somebody was trying to fix it. And all the people turned their backs on him for fake news. That's the sad part. And even though I second guessed it a lot, because the person had money and I felt was 10% of me still felt like, can I really trust this person? Because he's another one of the rich and powerful. He's got to be the same. He's got to be just like him. And then the fake news came out, and I didn't pay no attention to that, but did it make me second guess? Yeah. And I didn't know what to think. And I wish more information was given out by the people behind the scenes before it got as far as it did. Because I think things would have ended differently. But I also know that a lot of people, which is why I'm doing this and have been doing it for the last 6 months before any of this even started, really cracking down, and have been wanting to do it since I was younger, and getting the truth out there. But I'm doing it to spread the word because it wasn't spread when it needed to be. But again, I know that, like I said, when I started this, it was to get through to people who don't want to believe or didn't believe, or maybe just need a little help in the information side of it, like I did. I knew what needed to be done, but I didn't know who to trust, and I didn't know which way to turn. And now I have that information. So here I am passing it on to you. And change is coming, and it needs to be made, and we have the people to do it now. Now it's just about spreading the word and letting people like me several months ago who didn't know where to go, who to turn to, and where to get the information and who to trust and whatever. Everything that I was wondering there, let's just put it that way, because I'm stumbling, because I'm running out of time and I really want to get it all out, and it just makes me stumble. I'm doing for you guys what I needed done for me. Now I'm a little bit ahead of the game, and I have a little bit more information, and I hope people who have information like I do will even come to my channel and share it with me and my channel. Please join, subscribe, jump on here, collect the information, give information. We are a team now. We need to unite, and then sooner or later we will unite with other teams, and we will do what has to be done to make things right. It's that simple. And again, these are, in anything I say, there is no violence. So I don't want anybody contacting me about violence. I am talking about fixing the violence, okay? And again, we're running out of time, so we did get through a good part, and we are going to stop there. Let me see if I made it to the end of this. I'm not sure, but I'll have to look later because I want to finish talking to you instead of looking at this. And I'll figure it out. But these stories have been horrific and horrifying, and this is real. And again, the pictures that are put on the other documentaries are horrifying. I can't put them on here. It would be a really big wake-up call for you guys to see. If you really want to get that wake-up call, go check it out. I'm glad I do. And in some ways, even though I want to use them on here to wake you up, I'm glad I don't have to sift through them and look at them and repost them. But everything I read to you, you need to picture in your mind, because it is what is shown as I read and research. And it is horrible. absolutely horrible and horrifying. I'm going to jump off now because I still have some editing and adding to do in this video. So I don't want to waste too much time and space. I really want to keep talking and I really want to keep going, but I can't. So I love you guys. Have a great night. God bless. I love you. Have a wonderful night. And please do as I asked. Please subscribe, give the thumbs up, leave your comments, and bring more people to wake up. Again, good night, guys, and I will see you on my next video. To wake